Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. James MacNeil here. Very happy to be meeting with you in the Great White North. Here I am back in Canada. So I'm in my comfy, warm Canadian morning clothes. So welcome to James MacNeil's Spiritual Sunday. Today is March 12th, the year is 2023. And I am not in my Mexican home studio. I'm in my Toronto home studio. And I didn't reset all the lighting. And I hope you can see me fine. And I wanted you to be able to see the beautiful front lawn here. And I wanted to talk today about happiness. So here on James MacNeil's Spiritual Sunday, and I am James MacNeil, we know that love is the answer. What's the question? So today's question is, why can't I be happy? Why is happiness so difficult to find or keep? I thought of many titles for today's conversation. Why can't I be happy? What will make me happy? Why isn't anyone happy? Yesterday, I saw on television, I don't generally watch television, but my sister was watching television, and they finally announced what I said 3 years ago. About 2 months into the COVID story, when they declared the pandemic and they locked everyone away and we're all supposed to be secluded and no one's allowed to hug each other and all of that stuff, I said, well, if this goes on more than a couple of months, we're going to have a global mental health pandemic. And of course, it went on for years. And I finally heard it on the news. Well, they just figured out we have a global mental health pandemic. And right now we have more unhappiness than, per capita, it's probably the unhappiest human population ever. Maybe that's too strong. I don't know, but it might be accurate. So today we're going to talk about happiness. What does the spiritual light and love of divine love have to say about this idea of happiness? And so please like, love, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell, do all those things so that you can be notified of future episodes and future content. Next Sunday, I'm going to have James MacNeil Spiritual Sunday church service. And what I answer is your questions. And we're going to have a ton of questions that we address, and it'll be interactive with a live audience. And so next Sunday is going to be something special, and I'll be in my Mexican studio next Sunday. All right. So let's get to it. So why can't I be happy? Well, let's start with this. The you that asked the question can't be. You're right. So there's a you that asked that question, and that you cannot be happy because that you would disintegrate, would cease to exist, would lose power, would, in a sense, feel like it's dying if you ever became happy. That version of you depends on your discontent, depends on what's a state of separation and desperation. That you is not you. That's the good news. So the bad news is you can't be happy. You'll never be happy. Happiness will elude you for all of your days, I say to your ego. But who you really are, you already are happy. You are made of happiness. Your natural state is happiness, and nothing in this world can make you happy, and nothing in this world can rob you of happy. You are either happy or you are not. And at all times, the truth is you are happy. Somewhere inside, there is pure, undefiled happiness that does not require anything. So the question is, how can I tap into my happiness? There we go. Now, if you study the wisdom literature, and by the way, real Christianity, pure Christianity, is very clear on this. The modern day Christianity, the religious Christianity in all of its various forms, seems to be far more interested in fire insurance, right? Fear of death, fear of hell, fear of the devil, very fear-based and adversarial-based. Those people. And that's not actually anything to do with Jesus' message. So if you want to study Jesus, you'll find a lot of really cool stuff that you'll love. And you'll also find very similar truth in Buddhism and Taoism. So here's more of what you want to know. Number one, you have something called the ego. The ego is not who you are. Your ego is a fake ID. It was born somewhere around the age of 2. When you were somewhere around the age of 2, it came into power. And it is a false ID. It is the construct of who you think you are, built on the social mirror of what's around you. So mommy said, or daddy said, or someone said, you're the good one, you're the bad one, you're the funny one, you're the nice one, you're the mean one, you're the athletic one, you're the good singer, you're the bad dancer, you're the whatever, the good student, bad student, you hate math, you love broccoli. Whatever they told you, you basically took this buffet of options and said, yeah, that makes sense. And you built a construct of who you are. And that construct is never complete, it's never clear. But what it is an idea that got out of control. Now it thinks it's you. It began as a surrogate, turned into a counterfeit, and it thinks it's you. Now, if you're wondering, how do I know that I'm in the grip of the ego? Wayne Dyer said, you're either a host to your God or a slave to your ego. Now, however you define God, what he is saying completely accurately is you're either reconnected to your higher self, divine love, God, by whatever name you're currently comfortable, or you are separated. And the state of separation produces a state of desperation. And that separation and desperation is the state that gave birth to this thing called the ego. So now the ego that thinks it's you is in a state of separation and desperation. So separation means it's always apart from it. And the word sin, by the way, if you're curious, the word sin in the Bible, in the New Testament, the number one most commonly used word in the Greek is hamartia, and hamartia means not together. Not, ha is a prefix that means not, and then martia is martis, I believe it was, and that means together. So sin simply means not together. So when we're in a state of not together, we're not in alignment, we're not in flow with our higher self, with our truth, with divine love, we're not experiencing the power of now. Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now and New Earth, his books were incredibly helpful for me to understand this. Buddhism helped me understand this. And then I realized that that's something that Jesus was teaching me the whole time. And I realized that separation and desperation are what is called sin. And so in this state of sin or separation, I lost my vision, my identity, and my purpose, which means I don't know who I am, why I'm here, or what I want. In that state of separation and desperation, I'm now vulnerable. I always feel like what I want is not where I am. I'm drawn into the past or into the future or into a state of discontent about my now. So I'm either in past tense, right? Thinking about the past tense of now that past tension could be positive or negative. So I could be thinking about the good old days or the bad old days. Either way, I'm in past tense, right? I'm a victim of the past, or the good old days when I had hair or something like that in the past, or I'm in the future tense. Someday I'll be happy when I get this. If I have that, then I'll be happy. If I'm in Mexico, I'll be happy. If I'm in Canada, I'll be happy. If I'm married, I'll be happy. If I'm divorced, I'll be happy. If I'm whatever, if I have that car, I'll be happy. So there's the I'll be happy then, or I was happy then, or I can't be happy because of what happened then. There's past tense and future tense. And then there's present tense, which means a state of discontent. No matter what, some people can find their way to be unhappy. And you know this. You can have everything going for you and be miserable. Some of you achieved, accomplished, and acquired everything you sought out and still find yourself unhappy. And you think, wow, what can make me happy? Good. So now what we know is the past tense is not connected. Future tense is not connected, and present tension or discontent is not happiness. So the place for happiness is present peace. We connect to source and our higher self in present state of peace. So when we are calm, when we're not needing anything or anyone, I encourage you to write some of this down if you're interested in being happy. Remember that if you need anything or anyone to be happy, you'll never be happy. Happy is a reality that you always are experiencing in the spiritual realm. So I'll say that again. Your spirit, your soul is always eternally happy. It is connected. In the Bible, it has this beautiful thing. It's called the fruit of the Spirit. Now, the Spirit means when my spirit is connected to divine love, and divine love, spirit, indwells me. Depending on your quantum mechanics philosophy, but in quantum physics, we understand that the subatomic particles they actually defy the Newtonian physics or traditional physics, which means they defy the rules of nature, which means they are not natural, which means they're supernatural, they are metaphysical, they transcend the rules of time, space, and matter. And if all quantum particles, which means the particles that make up all the particles that make up every cell of your body and mine, the universe is made up of the same substance. And that substance, when they say, what are those subatomic particles made of? The answer comes back, energy. If everything is made of energy, then you and I are made up of energy, that same energy. And if that's the case, then we're all made up of the same supernatural substance, the supernatural soup. And if we're all made up of this supernatural soup, what is it? Well, depending on your theism, your perspective on all of this, that divine is love. God is love, it says in the Bible. And so it's a mathematical equation. If God is love, then love is what some call God. So now if we're in a connection to divine, going back to Wayne Dyer's quote, his quote was, you either play host to your God or slave to your ego. When you are in that state of present peace, when you're in that state of acceptance, it is what it is. Right now I'm bald, right now they love me, right now I'm rich, or I'm broke, or my car's broken, or it works, or my cousin's mad at me, or whatever. My current reality is X, and I can accept that, right? Present peace. I'm at peace with my current reality. I need nothing. I need no one. In that state of contentment, I'm reconnected with the divine love. I'm reconnected to the spiritual source of the universe, which is my natural state. Now, going back to the Bible quote, Galatians 5:22 says that the fruit of the Spirit, or the evidence that you are in that state, is, and here we go, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. That is your natural state. Your natural state is in riotous, euphoric, loving connection with divine love, and you are here on purpose with a reason for this season. You are, excuse me, I'm in Canada, sometimes a week off. Excuse me. You are a divine love ambassador. Your purpose on this earth, and my purpose on this earth, is to experience, express, and expand divine love. And in that state of experiencing, expressing, and expanding divine love, I have my purpose. I am not on a quest to become happy, but happy is my natural state, which unlocks everything. That's the law of attraction conversation around vibration. The higher my vibration, the higher my attraction. So when I'm coming from a place of happy, I'm coming from a place of love and joy and peace and patience and kindness and goodness and faithfulness, gentleness, selflessness, self-control. When I'm in that state, well, then I'm a love machine, and I attract all the best people and the best opportunities, the best circumstances. I'm in a state of contentment and love. The ego, however, that separate state, is only looking, because it's only a mental construct. It's just an idea, but it's gotten out of control. But all it sees is what is not. What I mean by that is the ego only sees what you don't have, what you can't do, what you don't know, and who's not with you. And if you're experiencing that, you're experiencing fear and frustration. And if you're experiencing any of those things, know this: you're in the grip of the ego. And the secret is to go back to now and Zen. And now and Zen, that state of it is what it is. I'm at peace. I need nothing and I need no one. This, my dear friends, is the secret to happiness. You're already happy. Now, Aristotle, I was told, said that the goal of all goals is happiness, that everything I seek to acquire and accomplish, I seek to achieve, accomplish, and acquire on a quest for happiness. And therefore, all ambition would be evidence of separation, and all ambition would be a problem. And if you study a lot of the Taoism and Buddhism philosophies, depending on who and where you're studying, you will see this. The whole idea of ambition is evidence of a core problem. And if we can stop striving, we'll find out we're already there. Beautiful philosophies. And you might say, well, James, where's the ambition in all of that? bear with me. I have more messages. Ambition is being who I am, right? It's just the natural state of humans is to go for it, right? Like self-actualization, all living things go for it. And so our natural state is going for it, but not to become and not to become happy, but rather it's just the natural state. The trees behind me didn't go to motivational speeches by Tony Robbins. They just go for it because that's what all life naturally does. And we can get back to our natural state of I'm already happy and I'm going for it because that's how I'm made. Back to Aristotle. So I was told that he said the goal of all goals is happiness, but that's not what the quote says. So I got the quote. So I want to give this to you. And I'll be wrapping in just a couple of minutes, but he said, Aristotle, by the way, brilliant, not just a fancy ass name, but really brilliant, said happiness is the meaning and purpose of life, the whole aim and end of human existence. He's saying it's the point. Happiness is the point, but it is not something to be achieved. It's something to be in your Zen state. If you can accept that everything's already perfect, everything is perfect, everything is improving, which is a profound koan. It's a very challenging idea for many people. But if you say that enough times, you realize it's true. I'll say it again. Everything is perfect and everything is improving. And while your ego is going to yell, this guy's an idiot, he doesn't know anything, that's so crazy, hasn't he seen the news? Yeah, I have seen the news. And there's depth behind that idea. Everything is perfect and everything is improving. If you will allow yourself to be happy now, not needing anything or anyone, to say, I can find the happiness within me, it's already there. And just because it's hard for you to find doesn't mean it's not full. When you see movies like The Matrix, philosophical movies, if you ask me, in the movie, Morpheus says to Neo, the Matrix, this computer program, is the world that's been pulled over your eyes to hide you, or to block you from seeing the truth. Let me see if I can remember the quote. It's the world that's been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. The truth is you're a slave, Neo. And so, in a sense, this neediness, this discontent is the lie. The truth is you're actually happy inside. And the ego has been stirred up by consumer capitalism. Consumer capitalism is the manipulation that we need what we don't need and want what we don't want. And this perpetual quest to become happy, the presupposition is we're not starting at happy. The presupposition is we're desperate and separate, that nobody loves us, and we need this and we need that, we need others, and if I just have that fancy watch, then someone will love me or whatever. And the ego is incredibly helpful for those who seek to manipulate us. Anyone who tries to make you feel incomplete, anyone or anything that tries to tell you there's an enemy, and any time that someone's selling you on that, they're attacking your ego, and your ego can be manipulated. Your ego can be fooled. But I've got good news. You can't be fooled. You can't be manipulated. The truth of who you are, when you're coming from that connection to source, that love and joy and peace, which, by the way, are the core elements of what we call happy. When we experience love and joy and peace, that is one happy camper. And so the promise is it's always there. And the evidence, the fruit of your connection to source, to your higher self, to God, is that state of happiness. That when we have that state of happiness, then we are complete. And from there, we can't be fooled. So the ego has been an incredibly helpful tool for those who want to market us a religion or a war or a fight or sell us chiclets or whatever they want to sell us. So here's a great starting point. You're fine. You're happy. Find that happiness. It's already there. And once you find it, protect it, stoke the fire of it, and know how to reclaim it. I encourage you to consider prayer and meditation. And you might say, well, I don't believe in a God, or I don't believe in your God, or I don't believe in that. So lighten the heck up. Here's what I'm saying. Prayer is dialogue with divine. Now, it could be a divine energy. It could be your higher self. It could be God. And for me, it's God. I'm a fully committed Christ follower. Some of you know that. And so for me, it's God. But for you, it's wherever you're at right now. But it's divine love, wherever and however you find that. That is dialogue with, which means speaking and listening. And then meditation has become familiar. And for right now, let me just say, to meditate, just practice relaxation and deep breathing and body consciousness. If you'll do that for right now, and we'll do a thing on meditation soon, but my encouragement for right now is breathe deeply down into the belly. Hold those breaths for a little while. Release. Imagine you're inhaling light and love and exhaling tension and toxicity. Become conscious of your physical body and relax it. And just as I said that, my shoulders dropped. It's like, ah. And stay there for a while. Calm, breathing, mindfulness of your physical body. And the reason why that alone will begin to help you is your body is always present. So instead of being past tense or future tense or present tension, a state of discontent, you're dropping all of that noise in your brain just to be calm and focus on body relaxation, which means you are becoming calm and present, right? Now and Zen. And if you'll simply do that one thing and enjoy it, take some time to say, I'm just going to relax. You can sit up, you can lie down, whatever works for you. You can go for walks and do this after you've got the hang of it. But for right now, accept the possibility that you're actually euphorically happy already. Deep breathe. Relax your muscles and see if you can find that happiness. You might think it's a little flickering flame somewhere in the distance that you'll have to find, like Indiana Jones on a quest to find the secret fire. But once you get the hang of this, you realize it's not a little flickering flame. It's a raging fire of happiness. You're completely happy. You have enough love and joy and peace to handle anything your day presents to you. You have enough love and joy and peace inside of you to share it, to experience it, to express it, to expand it, until you start spreading that flame and touching this world. And this, my dear friends, is the kind of ambition that will serve you well, that selfless ambition that says, I'm fine, let's focus on you. Humility is not thinking less of myself, it's just thinking about myself less. And once I know that I'm not desperate, I'm not separate, I'm connected to my higher self, to divine love, and I'm here on purpose with a reason for this season. And my purpose is to bring love to this planet, to first tap into it inside myself, to realize I'm euphorically happy already. I can experience, express and expand love, joy, and peace. And when we begin, we'll find out we're already fine. We're already magnificent. I encourage you today to understand that the you that asks, why am I not happy? That you will never be happy. It can't be happy. Happiness would kill it. The ego needs separation and desperation. It is the ego that burns the bridges. It's the ego that's not attracted to good people. It's the ego that's not attracted to healthy food. It is the ego that wants noise and drama. And if you'll allow yourself just to be happy for no reason, great book, by the way, Happy for No Reason. If you'll be happy for no reason, you realize this is the truth about you and me, that happiness is who we are. I hope you've enjoyed today's Spiritual Sunday. This is James MacNeil. Again, please subscribe, like, love, comment, and in your comments, let me know what topics you'd like me to tackle. The last three I tackled were very outrageous in the eyes of many, provocative. Frankly, a lot of the people who know me couldn't watch them. The topics were too disturbing. And so I decided to talk about happiness, something that won't scare everybody for a change. And I want to talk about what you want me to talk about. So let me know what topics you'd like me to discuss here in James MacNeil's Spiritual Sunday, and subscribe and hit the bell. That way you'll get notifications when I go live. And there you go. We're doing more and more. I'm learning, and I'll be back in Mexico. I don't know if I'm taking a vacation from Mexico, or Mexico's my vacation, or if I never take a vacation, maybe I have some learning to do myself. This is James MacNeil saying you're perfect. You're perfect in your personhood. You are a creative and compassionate spiritual being currently existing in physical form. You are infinitely valuable, exquisitely unique. You are perfect in your personhood. Your natural state is in euphoric connection to source, to divine love, to God, and in loving connection to all living things. We're made up of that love energy, and it's time that we breathe and find it, stoke that fire, and become a world changer. Love, joy, and peace. Have a beautiful, blessed Sunday. I look forward to seeing you next week from Mexico. And I will stay warm in this beautiful, snowy paradise. Love, joy, and peace.